What up? Oh, that looks really loud. I'm gonna be reading from this side. I wanted to reset up the microphone from the other side, but I decided not to. Here I am. What's going on? Oh, is there an echo? That would be because I have two things on. Okay. Okay. All right, let me put the schedule up. So I made a thing. I made a bunch of stuff last night. Where's the thing? Oops. Here it is. So this is the schedule for today. I need to move Discord over here. Oh, wow. That's neat. Excuse me. I need to delete this one. So that's a tag everyone does. I made a thing. Today's schedule, basically, we're going to do the Discord questions that I answered. Any of them that I put up today, I might answer, I might not answer. I don't know yet. But I actually made answers for it last night. Excuse me. And, yeah, and then we'll do a live Q&A and character creation walkthrough on D&D Beyond. Basically for 2 hours, but you have to be in the Discord community channel to participate. That's pretty much it. Is there anyone here? Is Steelfire X here yet? Hold on. Let me look at my Discord, my chat bot. No. It would appear that he is not here yet. We're just going to answer him in order anyway. Yeah, join the Discord. Go into the community chat. That's where I'm going to be as soon as I'm done answering all the questions. What else is there? I think that's it. I think that's it for right now. Here we go. Okay. Questions. I had to turn the schedule off. There it is. So the schedule is on there. If anyone has questions about the schedule as they come in, let them know. Questions. Where's my first question? Question 1 comes from Steelfire X. Have you played 3.5 of Pathfinder? Yes. Yes, I have. I've played a lot of it. Many years worth of stuff. Was wondering how the 5 EA system stacked up to it. I've never really played it, but enjoy the customization is the word of that one. That should be. I didn't realize that. Of the older version, so I'm a little worried. I won't have as much fun with it. So I have a real properly good answer for this, by the way. The first thing I like to address is what you said at the end. If you're worried about not having fun because the game has changed, you're not looking at the right aspects of the game to make it fun for you. You need to first ask yourself a question. The question I'd like to ask you in this is, what makes Dungeons & Dragons fun for you as a whole? Do you enjoy having an absolute insane amount of math to do every time combat happens? Do you enjoy combat literally taking hours at a time? The main things that have changed between 3.5 and 5th edition is the whole system has been simplified to make it easier and less time consuming to play. All hit points have been reduced. AC has been reduced. Ability scores have a maximum of 20 without equipment, and 22 with a special item. Overall balance is kept extremely simple and easy to understand. As a GM of 19 years and 24 systems under my belt, I would say that 3.5 is one of the worst systems for what I call playtime to mathematics. 5th edition solves this by asking how many bonuses and which ones do I get. Solves this by how many bonuses and which ones do I get. It solves this instead of asking how many bonuses and which ones do I get. You ask, do I have advantage, disadvantage, or not? That's all. That is what it all comes down to. Instead of 2-hour character creation, I can make a character in 5 minutes flat. I can prove that as soon as I do the character creation thing. So that's the first question answered. Is basically, yeah, 5e is simple. The customization is still there relatively, but doing stuff doesn't take as much time. That's what I like about 5th edition. Is doing stuff takes less time. No, Pathfinder is the worst system ever. Pathfinder is like by far and above the worst system I've ever played. Let's go to question 2. Jelena89 asks, which aspects for a first-time party are useful for a first-time party so it doesn't get annihilated too quickly? This is my answer to this one. That is true. Safari friend, I absolutely despise Pathfinder. If someone would like to play with me and prove me wrong, you're more than welcome to do that. But you'd have to be willing to play, and then I would have to not ever. The thing I would have to say is that if you wanted me to play Pathfinder with you, I would have to never ever, none of us, so no one in the party would ever have to look up the book to see what's happening. That is what I would say. Is that I would be able to play the game without ever having to look up a rule. That would be ideal. It might be fun for me if that's the case, because every time I played Pathfinder, that has always happened. Is most of the thing was looking at rules. So for this question with Jelena, this is literally up to the GM when it comes to making sure the party doesn't be put in a situation they can't handle. If your GM enjoys this kind of strategic gaming, then it could be fun, but they need a lot of experience knowing when it's too hard. So it's not really that the party needs to know anything. It's just that that's the GM's job. When it comes down to it, the game master of whatever you're playing, it doesn't matter what system you're playing. You don't need to know how to play the game. You shouldn't have to know the ins and outs of the thing to make sure that your party doesn't wipe. It's up to the GM. If the GM enjoys killing everyone, then I wouldn't play with them, but that's just me. Yeah, that's the answer to that question. Is it's up to the GM really to make sure that you don't get destroyed on your first adventure. And then starting at level 3 also helps too. That's another one I should have added to the answer to this question. Starting at above level 1. Level 1 is the worst. Level 1 is the worst. The absolute worst. Like place to start. Honestly, level 1 should have been level 3 for just the base system. Sarich, I like GM. I like Game Master because Dungeon Master is an outdated term and for a very specific system where I don't. Master's a little. You're creeping into a territory that I'm not entirely comfortable with right now. Anyway, we're not that close to Taco. Yeah, let's answer that question. This is up to the GM to make sure that you just don't get immediately destroyed. Sarich, be careful, my friend. Let's go to question 3. Turtle Taco has a million questions. I don't know why we let him have so many questions. Just kidding. How do I imagine how my characters look? So I actually thought about this last night, and I would say that in my mind, when I'm illustrating stuff in my mind, I see it as the 90s Batman. You know, the Batman cartoon that I grew up with is literally how I see all of the players and the characters. All the characters look like characters from that 90s Batman cartoon. I don't know why, but they all look like that. I don't know. It's just that's how I see it. And do I plan on playing different systems in the future? Right now, Foundry doesn't support any of my favorite systems, so it'd be hard to implement, and I'm sure people would enjoy watching a system. I don't think people would like watching systems they don't understand. That's the issue. And Foundry doesn't support Star Wars: The Edge of the Empire. So that's my main issue right now as I was looking for it, and they don't have an Edge of the Empire module. Roll20 does, which would be fun. But then again, in the Star Wars system, maps don't work because of how their distance measurements tool works. So it would be kind of a waste of all the Patreon stuff I'm getting to not use it. I mean, I could use it, but I'd have to find like a Star Wars Patreon or something like that. Yeah, that's the answer to that question. I do plan on doing it at some point. It's just I need thematic stuff, thematic things, and then people that enjoy it. So a lot of people just don't enjoy Star Wars, or they don't enjoy Warhammer, or they don't enjoy sci-fi. There's just people that don't. And finding a group of people that want to play a different system is going to be very specific in the way that people want to do it. Yeah. Safari Fred and I are talking about a very special thing that we might switch up the system for. But I figured out, Safari Fred, that D&D is going to be the easiest way to do it. And I found a module that can generate a character for me instantly. So on that front, we can do D&D. Yeah. The Cybernet, there are people that just don't enjoy sci-fi. Exactly. For Sarich, he's one of those people. Yes, they would be. And I have a module that I can just click a button and it generates a whole character for us. So considering everyone in the setting would be fighters, it would make it really, really easy. Well, no, we could always just set the DC to be something very specific. Yeah, we'll talk. Safari Fred and I are talking about something super epic, but it's going to involve a lot of things. Where is it? Okay, we're going to question 4. Sarich? I would say that, okay, so the question is, how important do you think having a camera is for role-playing? Is it vital or is it just a welcome addition? Where is it? Where's my answer to this question? Okay. I would say that having a camera helps tremendously on the impact of emotion and reaction. A great example of the first times when we played with Purge, his face when RP gets real is super fun. Sci-fi is not hard to get right. You just have to have the right system that involves a lot of different subsystems, or it's a very complicated system already. That's the issue, is when you're playing sci-fi, and also power balance is sort of an issue there too. I think Star Wars does it perfectly, that everyone is always one shot away from being dead. That's the issue I have, is that a lot of players in sci-fi are just too tanky, when realistically, like, every weapon should kill you in one hit, basically. Well, that's true. Yeah, the universe, I would, if I did play sci-fi, I prefer Star Wars or like The Expanse or Blade Runner or any of the really good sci-fi stuff. Like, there are really, really good sci-fis, and I would say like Blade Runner, Expanse, Alter Carbon. Oh, Alter Carbon's so good. Star Wars, I don't know if I consider Star Wars a sci-fi. I think it's a space opera. Shadowrun is just fantasy with guns. That's all Shadowrun is. Like, literally. Cybernet, you should watch The Expanse. It is literally one of the best shows I've ever watched. Ever. I would consider The Expanse like top 5 for me. I do have a system that could work for that. But the problem is that I don't think Foundry has the capability to run it. And Alter Carbon is amazing too. I love Alter Carbon myself. Okay. I hope I answered Sarah's question enough. Basically, for me personally, I love having a camera because it literally helps me understand how people are feeling. Well, it does them both so well. They go hand in hand. It's not. Oh, it's so good. You just need to watch it. Just watch it. Oh. Oh, sorry, my eye itched. Yeah, the political stuff gets even more insane later in the first season and the second season. Okay, so we have 1,000,000 questions from Tito Wolf. Literally, I think we have 4 questions from Tito Wolf. So I separated them by whatever could fit above my head. The first question is, how much of your campaign mechanical materials you wrote design? All of my campaign mechanics I tend to generate or be inspired by some of my favorite games, stories, shows, and movies. I know, right? He has 1,000,000 questions. I don't even know if he's here right now. I usually pick up my own stuff. Or if I am, I'm inspired by like really, really good, well-written stuff or mechanics that I have fun playing. Just depends on what it is. The second question is, do you primarily make your own designs, or have you picked up over the years from DMing, seeing other campaigns? I don't watch other campaigns. I don't enjoy it. I like watching other people's stuff, but specifically Critical Role makes me feel like I'm not very good at what I do, because for their average viewership of 65,000 plus people, it's like really hard to watch something that doesn't make me feel good about myself, because that's just how I am. I can't help but compare myself. So I don't watch those things. I mean, I don't. And the mechanics and stuff that I make is like something I've done for so long that it's just easy. Here's this next set of questions. I think this is just one question. How far ahead do I typically plan a campaign? I know you said on Seeds of Destruction that it was around 40 sessions. Do you determine that based on what planning you did ahead of time, or is it more of a guesstimation? I would say, now that I have relatively dependable groups, I can prepare out as far out as I need to. For Seeds of Destruction, I had a timeline. For Steel Horizons, I spent nearly every waking hour of 2 weeks planning just the timeline. I had Seeds of Destruction and Steel Horizons written out to 52 separate sessions, meaning a year if we play every once a week, every week. That's how far out I planned that one. And generally speaking, for actually planning a specific session, it's all relative to what happened in the session beforehand. Because in terms of like spending time within playing, that's all relative. If you were to take a handful of people and you know how long it takes them, for example, if you played a one-shot with someone before, you can figure out fairly easily how long it takes them. You can figure out how long it takes people to accomplish something relative to like how they play. Seeds of Destruction is very, very fast and concise, and they get stuff done very quickly, so I have to prepare a lot of content every week for them, where Steel Horizons is more about exploring and talking to people and having interactions and doing other stuff. So I'd say it's relative to the campaign. And my favorite question is this one. In terms of world building, how detailed do you get with your factions? Do you simply generalize an outline on how they function and then ad-lib from there, or do you make sure the campaign starts with every faction detailed rules, customs that need to be adhered to? So I went to a very detailed answer to this question, meaning that I decided to expand on the fact that factions are a very important part of every campaign, or they can be, depends on your campaign. And here's my actual answer. Factions are entirely dependent on the world in which they exist. Some things I generally use are dependent on technology level. Low fantasy factions, generally militaristic or religious organizations that can be anywhere from a handful of people to thousands in the military. High fantasy factions can exist anywhere from expanded military to universities to religion to regional, etc. Sci-fi gets even more crazy, and it has very nearly infinite possibilities when it comes to sci-fi for factions. If you want to write your own factions, just take something you have in our history, change some names, and slap on your own lore. That's the easiest way to do it. For example, if you want to have a lot of really big factions in control of nearly everything, there's a very good example of that in the Nazis, with how they worked, and it's very easy to change that and have it be relatable. Unfortunately, it was a horrible time and a terrible thing that happened, but if you want a faction that fits, there are plenty of examples. Or a good version of that could be the Red Army, or the Bolsheviks, or even the U.S. military after the Depression was incredible. And the amount of manpower and how the entire economy came through to resist things. You could do. It's not that you're making Nazis relatable. It's just that you're making a faction that makes sense based off of our specific interaction with history. So if you want to find another good one that's one faction in control of everything, would be the Mongolian Empire under Genghis Khan. That would be a huge one that would make sense. Although, and the Mongolians at that time, the Mongol Empire was not oppressive in the way that the Third Reich was. So there's ways to make things make sense as to our world history. Because if you were to make a massive faction that's in control of everything be an actually good thing, the likelihood that you're going to find that in an example in real life is very low, because of the potential for tyranny and things happen like that have happened in our real world examples. It's very difficult to and also the same thing, like the whole idea behind 1984, the George Orwell book with the Big Brother, is that we don't really have a good example of an omnipotent power that can keep everyone under control. We don't really have that because it doesn't happen very often. I mean, look at what's happening this year alone. All sorts of things. The craziness that's happening. I make my faction matter if the campaign calls for it. If your players want to dungeon crawl, most of the time the likelihood they will encounter more than a couple factions is low, so don't write more than two. One good and one bad faction would suffice in that case. That is true, Turtle Taco. But it only lasted for so long. That's what I'm saying. Is there's no example of a good long-lasting beneficial leadership for an extended period. I mean, it did last for a very long time, but then you have the craziness that happens in the emperors later, like Nero and Caligula and things like that. Steel Horizons has around 25 fully fleshed factions, and some have up to a dozen sub-factions that I've fully written out. But all of this is entirely up to you on how you want to write it, or if your players care that much. If your players don't care about factions or political intrigue, don't write anything. It doesn't matter. Just give it a name and leave it. If they want more than that, then they're going to have to request more than that. That's the thing. Is don't put too much. Don't put as much work in as the people you're playing with don't care about. If they don't care about factions, don't write factions. Give them a name and don't give them a description unless somebody asks for it. That'd be the easiest and best solution to like a lot of issues that I have. All right. Second to last question is Matt. How much backstory should I create for my character? Yes, Cybernet. 25 separate factions with sub-factions. That is a lot because that's what the world calls for, right? If you were to take a look at the Acrid Strand map by itself, right? And you look in the northwestern section. So just between Insight and Loose Footing is a region that I call, with the cold area. You have 6 factions just within the cold area that are all vying to become this actual. I'll get into it after this. Okay, I'll get into that specifically after this. Let me answer these last two questions, and then we will go from there. I believe there's one more question that I don't have written down, so I'll probably answer that in the live thing. I do need to make an overlay for that, which I'll make in a second. How much backstory should you write for your character? As much as you want. As much as you specifically want to write. Or if your friends and your players and the other people that you're playing with are writing 5 pages for their backstory, you might want to look into how to do that. Xanathar's Guide to Everything has the best backstory generator of all time. It doesn't work for artificers or some other classes, but it doesn't matter, because make a backstory that's relative to everyone else's backstory. If backstories are important for your campaign, make a huge backstory. It doesn't matter. If for me personally, I like people having backgrounds because it gives their character an anchor in the world. It makes them exist. So that's the big one. One shot. There you are. There you are. And then we get to the last one. Last but surely not least, Germaniac. I'm answering your question right now. Factions. So the main thing about that, Germaniac, is factions can be literally from a guild to a government to a religious organization to a bunch of people that get together to play chess every day. If a group of people has power relative to what they're doing, right? Then I would consider them a faction. Factions in real world would be considered, the Democrats are a faction, the Republicans are a faction, the Green Party is a faction. I don't really know a lot about European government or anything like that. It's literally any group of people that have power and a name I would consider a faction. That would be what I would say. That would be how I answer that question. Is factions can be anyone that has a relatively large amount of power. A bard's guild, a university for mages, a rebel faction that's trying to overthrow a large omnipotent power of some sort. There's like literally any group of people could be considered a faction as long as they have some sort of power behind a name, because all the best factions in history they all had names, all of them. I mean, the United States during World War II could be considered a faction. The Allies were a faction. They're just a group of sub-factions in a large faction as the Allies. And then the Axis was also the same thing. And then you have like the independents and things like that. So let me get to answering this actual question. How do I create a storyboard for the first time as a GM? This is an extremely broad question and has an immensely complicated answer. Every GM has their own process in how they write their own stories. For me, I decide on a theme. Whether it's low fantasy, steampunk, cyberpunk, modern, sci-fi, it doesn't matter. I decide on a theme. I make a map. So if it's a map of just a one-shot, it doesn't matter. Like it's just a map. It gives you the place in which your story happens. I decide on factions, land ownership, etc. based off of that. Flora and fauna are next, meaning plants, animals, etc. Magic is the next decision, followed by religion. So does magic exist? How many people can use magic? What religions are there? Are the gods real? Etc. Current events are next, and then decide how the players fit in after you figure out your basic world history. If you're going for a long, drawn-out campaign, you might want to write a couple years of history before what happened now, because it matters. For Steel Horizons, the fact that everyone is recovering from a disgustingly huge world war matters, because people are no longer militarizing, they're no longer mobilizing, their armies are much smaller, people are unwilling to fight one another because everyone is recovering. So the way that, we'll talk about Steel Horizons in a minute, and the way that our world built with that. The overall process for this from a general outline over an hour, I would say, is about the time you should write for a general outline about what you want to happen. In my case, Steel Horizons took around 300 hours to write and is ongoing. So I'm about 300 hours in for Steel Horizons, period. And it could be up to 1,000 hours to fully write out and flesh out a world of your own. There are tons of videos online about it. Brennan Lee Mulligan and Matthew Mercer have a great series online about writing your own worlds and world building. I highly recommend going and watching it because it's really, really good. It's not the same process that I use. I'm out of focus. There we go. It's not the same process that I use, but everyone has their own process. So just paying attention to that kind of thing is pretty much it. So now we're going to go on to, first of all, I am going to, Matthew Mercer. Here, I'll type it for you. Those two that I typed in chat have an amazing series about how to build a world and how to write stories. That's like literally like their bread and butter because they've both been doing it for easily as long as I have. And they're both fantastic at it. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into live Q&A / making a character. Let's edit this character. Oh, that does happen, Sarich, but we'll figure it out. If not, we'll post it later. I'm not worried about it. Okay. So if you guys want to come talk to me, I am going to be in the community voice channel for the Discord. If you haven't followed, hit us up with a follow and join the Discord. The Discord is in the bottom here. Let me Discord. Oh, that's the wrong one. Here's the Discord. You can join the Discord. Just hit a thumbs up on the thing, so showing that you've read the rules and regulations. And come talk to me. I am currently actually in the Discord right now. Let me unmute the desktop audio so that if somebody joins, we can talk. And if you have questions, let me know. I'm going to be doing this for 2 hours, so I need to make the overlay. I need to change the schedule overlay to say live.
Hello, I have a question.
Oh, it's a Firefred.
Hey. Hello, chat.
Hold on.
Mod here.
Join the Discord.
Oh.
Hold on, I'm just making an overlay saying, "Hey, join the Discord. Come ask me live questions." Oh wait, I need to unlock it first. There we go. Boop.
Let me know when you're ready.
I might need to change. Okay, so I'm going to change. I need to change the text. Let me put it. I moved the whole thing because it's all in a folder. And why isn't it locked? Why isn't any of these things? It's all locked. Why did it let me move it? That's weird. Let's move this over here, maybe. I'm just trying to see if I turn on the browser. Oh yeah, I wanted to full screen it as well so it looks better. Bam. Oh wow. I don't know if we can read chat still. They cannot see this at all because it's all white. I need to make myself smaller too.
Yeah, it's a little tough to see. It's fine though.
Let me unlock. And then I just need to move myself over. There we go. I can leave myself like that same size. Okay. Let me lock this. And then change the text color. And we'll be good to go. Don't pay me $20. I sure can make the chat color black. I think it has to reset though. let's put this up here. Then
I
we'll
just use the absurdly
change.
slow Dark Reader for D&D Beyond right now, but
I hate it.
yeah.
I don't like it. It literally kills my computer. Why is it doing this? Why did it move that? There's some things I don't like about this. Font settings. Let's change it to black. There we go. Let's try it now. All right, so chat showing up should be. Yep, there it is. It's black now. It looks great. How do you translate warlock to Spanish? What a question. Good thing he's asking Sarah and not me, because I don't know the answer to that question. Okay, you had a question. You had a question.
Yeah, less to do with character creation and more with character playing. But, let's say hypothetically, somebody's first time getting into a D&D campaign. What's like a tip for being in character and like staying in character?
Okay.
Instead of just like describing what you want to do, like any tips?
I figured out.
Well, to be fair, you haven't played in a while, but you
I have
play
not.
many different characters. in
That's
your
true. I
campaign.
basically do
you
it all the
juggle
time.
So many different characters. I'm worried about playing one specific character. Like,
so how do you? Okay, so it's how do you? The main thing that I do to change to show. Okay, so the big thing for me is showing the difference between so you want to know how to stay in character?
because like I
have a
this guy
voice
planned out in my mind.
Have a voice.
But like it's gonna be
Give him an accent of any kind. Make it different than your voice, and you will feel better and more comfortable being in that character because of the fact that they are different than you. That's the idea behind role playing for me as a whole. Is I'm playing someone else. None of my characters are relative to me. There are a couple that I don't really know. I don't know what I said to the last time somebody asked me that question. I think it was Ricky, but that's just it. I think it's just if you can change the way.
No, I'm not being a dwarf, Cyber. You're fine there.
Is my cat outside the door? I think she did get outside the door. If your character is different than you, if you're playing yourself, that's fine. But the thing that you need to do to separate yourself from your character is just change your voice a little bit. Make it a little bit deeper so that it's a little bit different. Or you can make it a little bit lighter, and the way they talk could be different. So if you just change it just a little bit, so you just enunciate S's specifically, there's 100 different ways to do it. You just have to figure out what works for your character and
Find a voice
what you're comfortable with.
Yeah. Okay.
That's be my answer to that question, because that's a good question. A lot of people don't really know, or they're afraid to do stuff. It's like, okay, so they'll just play yourself, but find a way and that's also how you figure out the difference between Devin talking and Ricky talking. As you know that Ricky's talking when I'm going like this, and then
I just don't consider myself much of like a performer, so to say. So it's like tough for me to like kind of get in that mindset of playing a different person.
That's easy to do. It's easy to do that. I gave Serge that power for a reason, one old man in chat. I gave him that power for a reason.
He's abusing it for Ricky.
He's abusing it because he hates Ricky.
Don't believe his lies.
I don't care. Honestly, I enjoy the fact that
Mod abuse.
I enjoy the fact that everyone is so caught between hating Ricky and
divided. Yeah, it's great.
I love it.
It's a good rivalry to have.
making
all you guys. Ricky lives to live. Sorry. What?
making making your character different than you, right? The main thing is it's fine to play yourself in your first couple sessions, or if it's your first time playing, there's nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that because it's familiar and it's easy to do, right? If you want to play something completely different than you and change the way you think about things, think about someone else that you know their perspective of, right? For example, for a lot of people, I try and think about the perspective of someone who works a job that doesn't fit the normal description of people that work, right? So, in generally speaking, in America, you have blue collar workers and you have white collar workers. Blue collar workers, I think, are physical labor and very hard work, where white collar workers are bankers and clerical work and things like that. Where, for example, with you specifically, I would consider your job a sort of blue collar position because you do things with your hands, right? Try and think about it from the perspective of make your character a perspective of someone who doesn't do anything physical, right? If you were to try and change your perspective in that alone could be a massive shift in the way you think about things, and therefore making your character think about things differently as well. You get what I mean? Are you alive?
Also, good advice for a potential one shot. So just keep your eyes peeled for this. That may be run. So okay, yeah, I think those were some good answers.
Yeah, that's the best thing that I could answer for that question. Is that just try and change your perspective. I have to let my cat in the door, or she's gonna be upset with me.
Yeah, you do that. We don't want an angry cat in your hands. That's for sure.
When did you leave? When did you leave? I don't know when you left either. Okay. Oh. She just got in here and started yelling at me.
Okay, well, I think that answers mine. So if anybody else has other questions, feel free to hop in the community channel.
No, that's my cat. That's my tortoise shell, my little baby. She's over there. She might show up in a bit. She's almost out of food.
She better.
She's almost out of food, so she'll be here. If you want,
See ya.
You're just leaving me forever.
Oh, I can stay if you want.
No, it's up to you.
The moderator. I can be the host.
Yeah, sure. Hi. Speaking of cats, come here. Come here, little baby.
Make that cat a star.
Here she is. She's my
very weird having the stream muted and you're on like a 10-second delay.
Look at this little baby. Look how happy she is. She's not yelling at me.
Say hi to Twitch chat, cat.
I think she's gonna hang out on the desk though. So, oh nope, no, she's not. Okay. My cat's, by the way, if you're wondering, my cat's full name is Kerrigan, the Queen of Blades, Cupcake for short. That's her full name. So, but I call her little baby because she looks like a kitten. She's 3 years old and looks like a little kitten. Okay,
I can't help but just call any cat cat.
True.
So hard.
So, what I'll do is I said that I could make a character in 5 minutes. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a 6th level character. And you know what you could do is I wish there was a timer that I could add to the thing that wasn't like a countdown. I do have a countdown timer, but it's on a different thing. I have to make a new widget. I don't want to do that. So do me a favor, Safari Fred.
I
time it. You're going to time it, okay?
Tell me when to hit start. I'm ready.
Oh, Jelena89. I just want to show up now. Okay. We're going to see how fast...
What's your question?
I know. I did answer her questions, though. I did answer them.
Watch the button.
Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to take suggestions from chat. I need a race and a class.
Am I starting the timer?
Not yet, not yet. Once we get the class and the race, I will let you know when to start. So put suggestions in for a race that's on D&D Beyond and a class. Oh, of course one old man in chat picks Warlock. There's Goblin Sorcerer from Space Wolf, Human Warlock. What I saw? Everyone knows I hate Warlock so much, but they want me to make a Warlock. Richard Warlock. Twitch plays character creation. There's a half-elf rogue. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll make all of these. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the first one. We're gonna do Goblin Sorcerer. Okay, so you ready to start the timer?
I am ready. 3, 2, 1. Let's create.
Okay, choose race. Don't need to choose anything.
Just to show how easy on D&D
It's
Beyond
goblins.
it is to
It's
make.
Goblin
Hey,
Sorcerer.
Devin, you have a lot of content here on D&D Beyond. Why is that?
Oh, because I was given it by D&D Beyond. They gave it to me for free.
Wow,
That's
that
great.
sounds
We're
amazing.
gonna do Arcana. We're gonna do Deception, Sorcerer's Origin, Wild Magic. Obviously, Cat, you're literally breaking my speed run right now. Oh my god! And then we're gonna do Careful Spell. We're gonna do Careful
Yeah,
Spell.
Warden, feel free to hop in.
Empowered Spell.
I'm your impromptu host.
And then we're going to choose a feat, and we're going to do Warcaster, because Warcaster is incredible. And then we're going to go to abilities. We're going to do Point Buy. We're going to do Charisma to 15, Wisdom to
So for anybody not
12.
familiar with D&D speedruns, you can read through when you click choices there. It shows all the text up there, so you can kind of
Oh,
pick
we're
and
gonna switch
choose as
these
you're
two.
going to see what feats
All right.
you want.
Oh, he gets
and
plus
what
2
your abilities
Dexterity.
do.
So we
It's all
want
very
12
intuitive,
and
Pretty
13.
simple and free.
Check that
Just
shit
sign
out.
up.
Description. His background is going to be Haunted One because it's fun. We're going to do Investigation and Survival. Extra language is obviously going to be Elvish. And then exotic language is going to be Abyssal. Or no, it's going to be Sylvan because he's a wild magic sorcerer. Equipment is light crossbow,
I guess I'm familiar.
arcane
I'm familiar
focus,
with D&D
explorer's
character
pack.
creation speedruns as well. So.
Stop the timer. We're done.
1 minute and 33 seconds. Boom, character created. He could have created all of chat's characters in 5 minutes, actually.
Oh, I didn't do spells. Start the timer. Start the timer.
Resume.
I didn't do spells. I
Resume.
forgot doing spells. Spells. Acid splash. Control
Fireball, Chaos
flames.
Bolt.
Obviously.
That's all you need.
Firebolt. Light. And lightning lure. Lightning lure is so good. Actually, message. We want message instead of lightning lure because message is stupid good. Chaos bolt is the only spell that you should ever have readied.
Necessary for any sorcerer.
Magic missile, shield, and then we're gonna go straight to level 3, and we're gonna choose fireball. We're gonna go to level 2, and we're gonna choose mirror image because mirror image is fucking incredible. Personally, I believe that invisibility would work as well for this character.
Mirror image is so fucking good. It's actually crazy. Isn't that like a second level spell too?
And Thunderstep. Thunderstep is incredible. Okay, so done. We're
Thunderstep
done.
is good too.
We're done.
Any
We're done.
any movement ability is great. 2 minutes and 29
Race.
seconds.
Hold on. Apparently we're not done. Bam.
Resuming.
Okay, Denisette. Okay, we have a name. And then let me pick a fucking portrait. Okay, we're gonna pick the standard goblin portrait.
I'm so confused. I'm just kind of pausing and keep
Okay,
going.
nope, stop it. We're good. We actually
Stop
fully
it.
have a full character now.
Okay, we're done. 2 minutes and 39 seconds.
That's
Create
it.
a character in
Literally,
D&D Beyond.
that's it.
And it's done. And something that I learned is you can, if you click the little cogwheel in the upper
And
left,
if you want to, if you want to look at this character, there you go. I pasted it in chat. If you want to look at the character I just made.
Lovely.
For point buy, it's not very good, but +2s across the board isn't too bad.
Yeah. Do they not have the stat rolling ability in D&D Beyond yet? That's a
No,
little weird.
well, they do have dice rolling, which is super fun. I don't even know how
Yeah, I
to get.
saw
I don't
that.
even know how to get to that. How do I get to the
it's
dice
in
rolling
the
section?
just click on a spell or an ability or something. Like click the damage in the firebolt. You see firebolt. Click the damage on the character.
Oh, I have
sheet.
special dice. How do I change what my dice look like?
Oh shit! Shows these premium dice.
I literally have. How do I do that? Hey, 17. Let's go.
But yeah, something that I learned is you can export your character sheets as PDFs as well. So if you wanted to print it out,
Oh, that's neat.
yeah, click the little cogwheel and export PDF.
How do
I've
I
been doing
get...
that for my NPCs for my one shot. Been just making the characters and then just export the PDF just
How
to
do I
have it.
get my dice? How do I change my... Oh, my dice. Look at this shit. I have fucking dice of healing. Let's go back to that
Does that mean
can.
I get the dice? Well,
Are you subscribed?
well, my character's in the campaign with you.
I don't think so. I think you have to be a subscriber to get those. So, watch this.
How did you change it?
They're literally little potions.
Oh, that's so cool. Got like liquid in it. Yeah, yeah, D&D Beyond. Once they get everything that they need going on, it's gonna be incredible. It already is. This
I know. It's fucking sick.
the 2-minute character creation.
I
Can't beat
know,
that.
but that's it. Literally, it takes no time to make a character if you sort of know what they're doing, know what you're doing. So here, let me,
if you're like me and you don't know what you're doing, then you're clicking through every single feat, being like, oh, okay, maybe I want this.
So here we go. Here's what I'm gonna
a
do.
lot of content there.
I'm actually making characters for a one shot, and I have a little handy dandy notebook as my guide.
Oh, and as well, we have Braver waiting in the wings. I think
Oh,
he has
yeah.
a question.
Well,
of
yeah,
some
he
sort.
could talk. Come
Yeah,
talk.
if you wanna
Do you have a question?
unmute yourself.
No, just hanging out, saying hello.
What
Following
up?
up with one. Hey, man.
I need a fighter. Okay, we're gonna wait to do. I always wait to do race last because I don't like doing race first. It's just really annoying if I'm being honest. Is it better to write your backstory before or after?
Here's Tito Wolf.
Oh,
You missed your
Tito Wolf!
questions,
Oh
Tito.
my god! Now you show
There's-
up.
Good questions too.
They were
Got some
good
good
questions.
answers,
I
so
already
we can
answered
go
all your
back to the
questions,
VOD and
Tito
check
Wolf.
that out.
All of them.
Looks like 1 o'clock is the good starting time.
I
for a
know,
Q&A
right?
Stream, I guess.
For
Or,
you,
well, yeah,
it's 11 for me.
11. It's all there. No worries.
Yeah. Okay, so I need to make a fighter tanky boy. Wait, did I think I've set these guys at 6. Proficiencies. Obviously, athletics and perception. Perception is the most used skill in the game, by the way. It's fantastic. If you're not using perception a lot, your GM isn't doing anything right. Because you should
Like
be
perception and insight. are
perception and
probably-
insight are so amazing because, well, that depends on how much interaction you have with people.
yeah.
Fighting style, we're gonna have a defense, or should we do protection? You could use your reaction. I don't like using your reaction to do stuff. It annoys me. Unless you're like a samurai or something. But no, this is like an in-depth character creation. This is not like a speed run. I'm not speed running this. I am going to use. I think I might make him a samurai.
Cyber's got a good point, I guess. He says he hates insight because players always misunderstand what it is.
That's true.
I've always understood it as like reading another person in a conversation, like catching their ticks, watching their eyes, their hands, like.
So
just
the
what
best thing to do is
they-
just to see how they describe it.
Yeah, like what kind of an image are they giving off as?
Your wisdom insight check determines whether you can determine the true intentions of a creature, such as when searching out a lie, predicting someone's next move. Doing so involves gleaning clues from body language, speech, habits, changes, and mannerisms.
Yeah. It's reading a person.
Absolutely. What do you mean, Germaniac? I don't understand your question. Oh. Wait. I need to get back to my character I was making. Yeah, so insight, for me, perception is knowing a character is there. Insight is trying to figure out what your character wants. You know what I mean? Oh, we have the dice. Wait, I can't get. Can I not? Okay, there's like, I want to be able to get the dice roller up while I'm in a different book. That would be my like the thing that I want to do.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just. I don't think it's a general dice roller because I think it only works when you click on like.
That'd be stupid. Reading thoughts can be part of it, I would say.
It's more like reading
it's
more like reading their intention.
Witch versus
from
warlock
there.
is purely a title. A witch and a warlock could be anything. Like a witch could be a sorcerer. They could be a wizard. It depends on what world you're in, really, when it comes down to it. Warlock is purely a title for someone who gets their power from a patron and not a god. So a patron could be something like Cthulhu. He's not technically a god. He's not omnipotent. He's not the standard definition of it. It could be like some sort of like sun being. It could be as someone that's extremely powerful that can lend power to someone is a patron for a warlock. A sorcerer gets magic from their blood. That's it. So witch or warlock, sorcerer, wizard, cleric, druid, all different power source. So they're all spellcasters, all different sources of power. Bards fit in there as well. Bards learn their spellcasting like wizards do. But they use it in a very specific setting. And to be honest with you, witch, warlock, and sorcerer are technically all titles as well. So realistically, if you have, for example, in Divinity, a sorcerer is someone that can use source and do that to do magic. For if you were to look at specifically like Lord of the Rings, a wizard is someone who can use magic, just straight up. There are no real cases besides what's that druid's name? The crazy druid. So he's like a shapeshifter. What's his name? He lives in the woods, and he's like completely taken out of the movies. He's not even there.
In Lord of the Rings?
Yeah.
Tom Bombadil?
Tom Bombadil. One of the most powerful spellcasters of all time. Radagast is that as well. What do you want, Kat? Exactly. Sorcerer. You could be a sauce user. So yeah, essentially that's all that means is it's just your witch, warlock, sorcerer. It depends on what world you're in. But mechanically, sorcerers get it from their blood. Warlocks get it from a patron. Wizards learn it from school. Bards learn it from school. Clerics get it from a god. Paladins get it from a god. Rangers get it from nature, or they can learn it as well. Like there's lots of there's dozens of examples of this specifically. It just depends on where you get your source, your power from. That's it. You can have a sorcerer can be any character can be any gender. There were some 3.5 things that were sort of funky that required you to be a specific gender. Is sort of weird. We're gonna choose a samurai skill because who doesn't love tanking with a two-handed weapon, right? Insight. Obviously, you get insight as a proficiency if you're a samurai. Because when you're doing that duel or whatever, what do they call that in
Ever looked at the samurai class?
No,
idea
there's
what
a
it's about.
there's a new game that just came out where they have like duels, samurai duels, where you
Oh,
dash at each
Go-
other.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghost of Tsushima is so good.
Looks
Oh, yeah. If you wanted a multi-class, you could have a melee sorcerer. But if you wanted a melee character that could spellcast, you could be a paladin, you could be a ranger, you could be a fighter, an eldritch knight fighter, you could be arcane trickster, rogue.
different spells, those sorcerers.
Yeah,
different
they're all
so
complete.
it really depends on what kind of spells you want to get.
Exactly. There's just
I
better.
love the idea of like a melee sorcerer. I mean, I'm a sucker for a spellcaster.
Well, no, there are lots of crazy powerful melee spells too. Mirror Image can help you with that. Shield helps you with that. Shocking Grasp is incredible. Like, just because you're a sorcerer doesn't mean that you have to take spells that actually like.
Oh yeah.
You can build your sorcerer however you want. Melee sorcerers could be potentially fun. The only issue with sorcerers is they can't wear armor. So if I was to do that, I would do like 2 or 3 levels in fighter first, and then go sorcerer all the way from there. That's what I would do. And that's purely because it's super like you can wear heavy armor, and then you're a spellcaster. So I don't know. There's lots of options, and then I would do Storm Sorcerer or Celestial Sorcerer. That'd be fun too, because then you can actually heal yourself. It makes for a really super powerful thing. Durable. No, we're not doing durable. Where's the hit point?
Raber went back to the mute. I don't know if you wanted to ask
No,
a question.
no.
Now's any good time as any, really.
Yeah, pretty much.
And also, anybody else who joined, if you have a question, you
Yeah,
wanna
if you
ask
wanna-
Devin here,
if you wanna
feel free
ask
to
me
hop
a
in the
question-
community channel.
Yeah, if you want to ask me a question, come to the community channel. We'll talk. We'll be cool guys doing cool guy stuff. I don't like athlete. What's Dragonhide do? Oh, you have to be a Dragonborn to use that. Duly noted. Yeah, but Cybernet, when you can wear heavy armor, you could just get scale mail or breastplate. Fade away? What is that? Oh, you have a lack for illusion magic. After you take damage, you can use your reaction to become magically invisible. That's crazy, dude. And keep in mind that your spellcasting modifier for sorcerer is charisma. So I don't know if I'd go I don't know if I'd go dwarf. But if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. You can do that. Apparently there's a new book coming out that makes stuff super good. I'm so excited for that book.
Yeah, that new character creation.
Yes.
Very
yes.
That's super cool. Just
I cannot
completely eliminates all like
wait.
the race locked stats and features and stuff like that. Oh, it's so cool.
Yep. I'm excited.
So you can have that dwarf with with +1 charisma or +2 charisma. Or
That's
whatever
exactly. No, you can cast spells as long as you're proficient in the armor. You can cast spells. Or at least if you really can't cast spells in heavy armor, that would be stupid. That'd be such a massive waste of things. I think the idea is that you have to have at least one free hand. So, for me personally, I think if you're wielding a two-hander, as long as you don't attack with your two-hander in the same turn that you're casting spells, I think that would make sense. Short of cantrips, sort of like The Witcher, how he just uses one hand to cast his signs. I think it would make sense to do that. But you know what we're gonna do with this guy? We're gonna make him Shield Master. What does that do? You can use a bonus action to try and shove a creature. Sweet. So now I've got my thing. And D&D Beyond makes this so easy. It's so stupid. I think I did point by with the sorcerers need charisma to cast spells. Yes. What's up? Why are you upset? It's fine. It's just, you know. You know what fighters don't need is dexterity. Yeah, dude. Samurai Shield Master. This is my samurai. If I want to make my Samurai Shield Master, I'll make my Samurai Shield Master. Or, you know what I could do to cheese it just a little bit, is drop all these by 1. And then make him a human. Yep, that's what we're going to do. We're going to make him a human. Bam. Because then you get +1 to all of your abilities. We're going to do Celestial. Because do you want to go? Do you want to leave again? What's your deal? I don't know what you want. Speak English, little kitten. Oh, come here. Come lay with me. Come be a cat. I gotta move all my stuff on my desk. Oh, what are you doing? Just hanging out. Okay, she's hanging out now, guys. She's, or not. No, kitten. Stop messing with everything. Just, ow. Why do you hurt me like this? Yeah, but then you don't have to cast spells, Cybernet. That's the key. Is you don't have to cast spells to have your AC high. You can focus on blasting people. So then I started blasting. This character is nuts. Literally, this character is insane. Gottfried Proudridge. Charlie. Spring Gust.
Charlie the Samurai.
I like Karen. Holy Bluff. Summer. These names are poo-poo.
Zach Laughing Helm. That was a good one.
It was alright. Callie Bloodblight? That's a sick name.
Okay.
I like it. It could be a male fighter. I'm not worried about it. Okay, so for background, I want to do soldier, I think, because it just makes sense. I like soldier. Soldier's just a good overall thing. And also, so I don't remember who asked earlier, but somebody asked, is it better to make a background after or before? Technically, you do have to make it while you're doing a character because your background gives you extra skills and stuff. And this points you in a good direction about how to do stuff as well. Intimidation. Would almost say stealth. No, he's like 0 stealth. Investigation, probably. Dice. This guy likes to play dice. Then equipment. Chainmail. Martial weapon and shield. We're going to give this guy a Warhammer. Because Warhammers can be used versatilely. If you don't want to use your shield, you don't have to. like crossbow bolts. Oh no, 2 hand axes because dexterity is for shitters. Explorer's pack. No, we're gonna do explorer's pack. A piece of banner, a set of bone dice, and a piece of banner.
I like how they specify bone dice.
Yeah, well, that's how dice were made back in the day, as bones.
Really?
Yeah, I think the earliest dice was made from a stone, and I think it was a D20, and the Egyptians used it.
Nice.
So, in order to make this work, you have to click where, by the way. I got cat hair in my mouth. Of course I do. So now we have a 19 AC with 0 dexterity, by the way.
In heavy armor?
Yes, in just chainmail, has a 19 AC.
Gee. It's almost monk level good.
That is so dumb. And then you think about it, right? Samurai have this ability, right? Called Fighting Spirit. As a bonus action, you could give yourself 5 temporary HP, and then you have advantage on every single attack that you play that round. Every attack that you use that round has advantage. So if you action surge, that's literally 4 attacks at advantage.
All advantage.
For the entire round.
Reckless barbarians on suicide
Yep.
watch.
16 armor from chainmail, 1 armored bonus, and 2 shield. So, yep.
Damn.
Yep.
You get 3 of those per long rest. What's that based on? Do you ever get more?
No. No, you never get more than 3 of them.
That's still ridiculous.
Yep, Fighting Spirit is nuts because if you think about it, fighters at the highest level get 5 attacks per turn.
Yeah.
So if you Fighting Spirit, you literally have 10 attacks at advantage.
That's Mogamak is like salivating at the teeth right now. Like at the mouth.
I told him. He likes
is shocking.
Battlemaster though. He enjoys Battlemaster because he has a lot of
Battlemaster's cool. It offers more variety than just like I'm gonna hit this guy. You got your superiority dice to do a bunch of different things.
True.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. A 15 passive, this perception isn't bad. Literally, this character is incredible. It's exceptional. Like, this character is really good. I like it. I like it a lot. What else do I need? I need a spellcasting druid, I think. Yeah. This is for that special one shot that I posted in the announcements channel. I'm probably gonna make everyone human, because why not? You know what I want to make? I want to make a spore druid. Druid circle spores. Circle spores druids are stupid, because they get to raise zombos.
Never really looked into the druid class.
Druid classes are fun, so I'll do a little bit of explanation on druid classes in a second too.
Yeah, please.
Perception and nature. Druid circles. So you have literally so many druid circles. It's stupid. Circle of Dreams is a sort of super healer, essentially. 4th level. Oh yeah, that's wild shape improvement. Yeah, it's okay. They're sort of like wild magic druids, but they literally get to roll dice to heal people for free. It's so dumb. As a bonus action, you could choose a 1 creature within 120 feet of you and spend a number of those dice equal to half your druid level or less. Yeah. Druids are absolutely incredible spellcasters. Warforged druids, I think, would make sense as long as you shapeshift into like mechanical versions. That'd be super fun. The problem with Warforged is that they are very specific in their job, and it can be really good, but sometimes it just doesn't work. Circle of Stars is now official. It's not Unearthed Arcana anymore. Oh, this is mine. This is the one I made for Moxie. This is actually, yeah. And then Circle of the Land. It depends on what version of the land you wanted to go to. I have to let my cat out. Hold on. I'm letting you out.
Go ahead and cat go out.
I'm doing a Q&A. Okay. All right. Circle of the Land can be super powerful. The best battle healer in the game
I
is
think my vaguest understanding is like all the different lands have different specific spells that they can get, right?
Yes,
And
they
probably
get-
like a
yep,
different like
yep,
ability for
yep.
stuff.
They get lots of spell casting. Circle of the Moon is literally the best shape shifting. It's nuts. It's absolutely insane. Their wild shape gets incredible real quick depending on what you see. Circle of the Shepherd has really cool totems that they can put down that does specific things. But the best battle healer in the game is and always will be the Life Cleric. 100%. There will never be a better healer than the Life Cleric. It's just not. Or like a super high level paladin can technically heal more than them because of lay on hands. So
High level paladins get like 200 HP and land.
yeah,
Like that.
yeah.
Ridiculous.
They get their entire hit point pool in healing. So it's like, okay, you're down 40 hit points. Bam, you're down 40 hit points. Bam, you're down 40 hit points. Bam, everybody gets 40 hit points. It's like
just high fives all around.
literally just high fives. Yeah, shit, Life Cleric. Actually, no, I would say the Grave Clerics are the best healers in the game because they literally have an ability, I think at level 6, that they go, you can't die. And for 1 minute, for 10 turns, that person can't go below 1 hit point. Literally. It's like super early on. It's so stupid. It's so...
saying I can just make a character that's Dazzle, essentially.
Dazzle! Yeah. I like his voice. Okay, so Circle of Spores Druids are super fun. They get Animate Dead as a spell.
Oh my god, and not only can you just stop them from dying, you can use that number of times equal to your Wisdom modifier.
Oh, are you looking it up right now?
For a long rest. Yeah.
It's
That's
so
ridiculous.
stupid!
So in theory, like level 6, you probably got a +3 modifier. You use that 3 times.
So...
Oh, wait, no. This is... No, that's not that one. What am I?
Or it might be the super
whenever
high
he
level
suffers
one.
a critical hit, you can turn that into a normal hit. You said Grave Cleric, right?
Yeah, Grave Clerics do have that ability, I think, at levels... It might be a higher level, I don't remember. But they do have... The Grave Clerics have incredible powers. Like, Grave Clerics are one of my favorite ones to play. as a GM, because it's like...
They might have changed it, or you're thinking of something...
Hold up! We're going to look it up. We're going to go into Cleric. We're going to look up Cleric stuff. Wait, I don't want Cleric spells. I want the actual Cleric class. Wow, Spare the Dying has a range of 30 feet. That's...
And you can cast it as bonus action.
That's dumb.
Yeah, so the 6th level one is whenever anything suffers.
That's
crit, you
that's
turn it into a
even
normal hit.
that's ridiculous. Like
That's still
actually
very good.
ridiculous.
That's still very good.
What? Did they change it? Wow, Path to the Grave is incredible still. That's crazy. You can add your wisdom modifier to your cleric cantrips? Is that a cleric thing? It is a cleric thing, thank God. I didn't know that. That's stupid. I don't know if they changed Grave Clerics. They had to have changed Grave Clerics then, because that's not how it worked before.
Yeah, I'm scrolling through the other ones. I'm not really seeing.
Oh wow, Death Domain is even more insane now. At 17th level, when you would normally roll one or more dice to restore hit points with a spell, you instead use the highest number possible on the dice.
That's sick.
That is the level 17 for Life Cleric, by the way. You just heal for maximum always.
Seems good. Seems good, man.
That's so... Yeah, I must have been wrong. I have been wrong in the past.
Or something.
Oh, Order Clerics are stupid too. They're basically cops that are just like, nah, you don't get to do shit. Yeah, Order Clerics are stupid too. They're so fun. But I need to make this druid at some point.
Oh, right back.
Nope, not allowed. It's good. See, I would say that my favorite part about me is that I know if I'm wrong, I can admit that. That's a big one. True. Two healing targets is pretty incredible. Oh, Circle of Dreams. Wait, I don't want Circle of Stars. I want a Circle of Dreams. Hearth of Moonlight and Shadow.
Okay.
Interesting. I think I might make this. I wanted just Circle Spores Druid, but if someone's new at playing, it's not going to be good.
What's cool about Circle of Spores? I don't know anything about them.
They can raise
do?
zombies.
Oh.
They're
That's pretty
necromancers, technically speaking. So their circle spells, they get Animate Dead, Gaseous Form, Blight, Confusion, Cloud Kill, and Contagion. So ridiculous.
Nice.
And then they have a Halo of Spores. Starting at second level, you're surrounded by invisible spores, necrotic spores that are harmless until you unleash them on a creature nearby. When a creature you see moves within 10 feet of you and starts a turn there, you can use your reaction to deal D4 necrotic damage to them. The necrotic damage increases D6 at 6th level, D8 at 10th level, D10 at 14th level.
It's really good. So it just stays there for...
They always have it.
Wow.
Yep.
Free damage.
Free damage. Safety. Yeah, it's Constitution saving throw. So if they succeed, then you're kind of screwed. They don't do any damage, but that's still stupid. Oh yeah. As an action, you can expend a use of your wild shape to awaken the Halo of Spores. Rather than transforming into a beast, you can gain 4 temporary hit points for each level you have in this class. While this feature is active, you deal damage to the Halo of Spores. You roll the dice. You roll a second dice of that damage. Your melee weapon attacks deal an extra D6 poison damage.
Damn.
Yeah. So literally,
That's really good.
yeah, literally, you could give yourself a fungus shield, and then just start bapping people. At 6th level, your spores gain the ability to infest a corpse and animate it. If a beast or humanoid that is small or medium dies within 10 feet of you, you can use a reaction to animate it, causing it to stand up immediately with 1 hit point. The creature uses the zombie stat block in the monster manual. It remains animate for 1 hour, after which time it collapses and dies. In combat, the zombie's turn comes immediately after yours. It obeys your mental commands, and the only action it can take is the attack action, making only 1 melee attack. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your wisdom modifier and regain all expended uses after a long rest.
I need to look into druids more.
It is incredible, but if your campaign is based off around undead or other types of creatures, you're not really going to be able to use it very much. And I love Circle of the Moon, but that puts a lot of work for me. That makes a lot of work for me. It literally, you don't understand. Just having Shiver's character is like an extra hour of work every time I have to prep. Because I have to think about what animals they're going to see, if I have to make the animals beforehand, and then make the shape
Really
shift.
any animal that they can do.
Literally, as long as you see an animal, you can add it to the list.
Mm-hmm.
Actual necromancers, if
Very
you're
useful.
given the opportunity to be a necromancer and legally like in your world and stuff, it's so fun. So I'll explain why that is in a bit, and then we'll talk Steel Horizons. We're going to talk Steel Horizons in a minute, because I have a feeling that all of you have questions about Steel Horizons and what the deal is. And I'll give you a little bit of insight as to how world building works for me personally. I think we're going to do Circle of... Does Grassland get stealth or something? That's right. That would be
Blind druid,
that
since you
would be
can't see
true.
me.
If you can't see the animal, you can't turn into it. So don't be don't you could be a spore druid and be blind because you're using your wild shape to give yourself stuff. And honestly, I'd never let my players play a blind character. It just neuters you as a whole. Because technically speaking, mechanically, you don't gain anything for being blind. So
Kind of theorycraft characters, and I was thinking about a mute mage. So I was going through the spells to see
You'd
which
have to be a
would
sorcerer to do
require a
that.
Verbal. Well, yeah, because they have the sorcerer ability. I was thinking not a sorcerer though, like because I was just seeing what spells didn't have a verbal component.
That's
There's not
there
many.
are not many.
There are not
But the
many, and
sorcerer
even more
would
importantly,
work
they're
better
not
because
that
you could
useful.
silent spell it.
Right. Yeah. That was inevitably where my journey led to, but I was just curious if it could even be a thing. Short answer is no.
Yep. Well, you could always design spells around it. For me personally, I would be fine with a mute mage if you took the time to figure out or make new spells that didn't need a verbal component. Cat. This is the cat conundrum. In or out? It's always in or always out.
Yep.
I know, I won't close the door anymore, but I'm going to keep the door closed because I don't want people walking in on this. Is that too much to ask, little baby? I know you want pet-ins, so get up here. Don't get off my microphone or my headset. There you go. Nope. I can't see if you do that. Oh, wildfire druids. What's a wildfire druid? I don't think I've ever heard that. From UA. Is there an Unearthed Arcana that I can't see? Hold up. Playtest content. Let's check this shit out. Druid Circle. Circle of Wildfire. Circle spells. They get Fireball. Yep.
Well,
Called it. Hey, it's Sean. That's one of my best friends in real life. Hi, Sean. Come to the Discord. Come ask questions. Come to the community channel. Don't be yourself, though, because that might be too much for my chat.
primal spirit.
Raised. Okay. Aura of Life. Fire Shield. Scorching Ray. That's this is a fire. How does a fire druid work? How does that even work?
Seems sort of counterintuitive.
It's
but,
sort of-
fire. Is
I
an
mean,
important part of
summon-
the nature cycle.
Summon Wildfire. Oh, they get a pet.
Yeah, their
That
levels
is
use that with the pet,
actually
too.
so cool.
Yeah, you can B shape into it, or wild shape rather, or to summon it rather. Oh, can't.
Oh, so it's only an but you can use your wild shape to summon. Oh, that's so cool. Actually, I I think it's awesome. I actually enhance bond. So yeah, they're trying to add more pet classes. But the issue that I have is as an action to summon a pet is sort of a massive waste of an action. I think it should be a bonus action. For me personally. Because every other
this is that it doesn't take your action to attack, it seems.
True.
The only action it takes on its turn is the unless you take a bonus action on your turn. Dash, disengage, help, or hide. So it can't even attack?
No, it can.
Oh.
But you could still do a bonus action to make it attack as part of the thing.
Quite hilarious. You can make the Wildfire Spirit any chaotic alignment.
Yeah.
So you are spending your action to summon it, but it does generate a kind of an AoE fire burst when you do summon it.
Does it really?
2d10.
That's incredible, actually. That's why it should be an action and not not a bonus action. I agree.
Is it an action or a bonus
Oh
action?
wow, Cybernet. Ban that man! I'm just kidding.
Boo.
It has a flying speed, dude.
Yeah, that's pretty.
That
pretty
is
cool.
incredible. This is super
So
fun.
my thoughts on the Wildfire Druid seem cool.
I think it
seems
seems
cool.
awesome, but
The one downside I think is like fire in D&D is very destructive. So like
Yeah.
obviously fireball, like scorching ray hits anything in your
oh my god!
path.
Whenever you cast a spell that deals fire damage or restores hit points, your Wildfire Spirit is summoned. While your Wildfire Spirit is summoned, roll a d8 and gain a bonus to one of the rolls of the
Yeah.
spell. That's ridiculous.
It's pretty ridiculous. And it's a 6th level.
To one roll of the spell. So it could be the spell to hit. It could be the damage.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys read the last line on the Wild Spirit, but it says if you go Wild Shape, it actually desummons it.
If you use your wild shape.
Yeah, go back to the Wild Spirit.
Uh-huh.
Well, you use the
Very
wild
well
shape to
done.
summon it.
So very bottom. The
And then
Wild
you can-
Spirit.
Or if you use your wild shape again.
Yeah.
What's up, Dad?
Yeah.
Hi.
I'm doing a Q&A.
Are you doing a Q&A?
Yeah, do you want to come say hi?
I want to come say hi.
My dad's coming to say hi.
Where do I have to be? Oh, there we are.
You're
Hi,
right there.
guys. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
So, cool.
You doing B stuff?
I did B stuff today.
Oh, okay. That's
Yep.
good.
Okay. See you later.
Bye. That's my dad
Doing B stuff.
doing B stuff. Yeah, check my Twitter. I tweeted the my story. I have like we moved beehives the other day, and I had a bee in my shirt underneath my bee suit. That was. I've never taken my clothes off faster than I did at that moment. That was incredible. My dad is super friendly. Sean knows my dad, right?
Dude, his French horn playing puts me to sleep.
Oh yeah, my dad. Okay, so when Sean and I were in the army together, we'd be online, and after I got out, but he was still in. Yeah, I am making a spellcaster druid, but I'm just looking at stuff. Kat, do you want to go? You want to go outside again? I don't know what you want from me.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you were ever wondered what it's like to own a cat, you are witnessing it right now. This is not like just his
she's
cat
not
thing.
normally
This is
she's not normally this needy, but apparently there's
this
just
is in
something
every cat
happening
that I've
today.
ever met. If the door is closed, they want to get out, and if it's closed and they're out, they want to get in.
The curse of the indecisive beast.
Yeah, rinse and repeat every 20 damn minutes.
I want a spellcaster druid. I think maybe circle. Oh my god. Yep, she wants out.
There's Circle of Dreams as well. Man, there's so many circles now.
Dude, every class is like this now. It's incredible.
Devin's got that premium content. too.
Yeah, I got all the stuff on D&D Beyond for free.
Yeah, if you guys at
Uh-huh.
home are wondering why your D&D doesn't quite look as
Yeah.
fleshed out as his, he's got a bunch of goodies.
Yeah, when I started Steel Horizons, Cap reached out to his Twitter, and apparently the community manager, like the marketing manager, was like, "Hey, you guys want some free shit?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I want some free shit."
All the free stuff, please.
yeah, it's like
so
it's
he's
like
got, like, all
$800
the
bucks to
classes
get
and all
everything.
the
So I might just do Circle of Wildfire. 'Cause fuck it, right?
Might as well.
You
yeah,
want to
that's-
go hard in the sauce? He doesn't work. Really? He doesn't work at. He doesn't work at D&D Beyond anymore.
Oh, is K-Pop-tosis?
Yeah, wow.
Oh,
I don't know. Its name is Brian, I think.
he's a Dota guy. Another Dota person.
Yeah, it might be a little OP for what we're doing. Oh, we're gonna make them alert as well. Alert is so good. Alert is one of the best feats in the game, hands down.
What does Alert do again?
It gives you 5 to initiative. You can't be surprised while your conscious and other creatures don't gain advantage on attack rolls as a result of being unseen by you.
Ooh, yeah, that's even just the 5 to initiative is.
Oh, if you combine Alert with Gloomstalker Ranger, that means that you can at level 1 if you roll high, or level 4 if you roll high enough, you can get a +10 to initiative at advantage. Actually, no. If you roll well enough, you could have a +12 to initiative at advantage at level 1 or at level 3.
So when you say unseen by you, does that mean like stealth people can't do a stealth attack on you? Or
No, they can't. They don't get advantage on their stealth attacks against you.
Wow, let's just get rid of a third of the classes.
It's like having eyes in the back of your head.
Well, that's why I don't play. That's genuinely why I don't bring rogues as NPC enemies, because it's just literally, if I want to one-shot your players, I will make a better and more fun way to do that. I'll throw you into a pit. I will sneak attack is probably the most lame way to get your character killed ever, is sneak attack damage, because generally speaking, my NPCs are going to be 10 to 11 level, 10 to 12 levels higher than my players. Okay.
That much higher, really?
Yeah.
No, the kitty wants to come back in. I heard
Yeah,
her on
of
the
course,
phone.
of course she does. You know, she's trying to open the door. It's fine. You know, it's cool. All right, we're druid, so we want to do high wisdom. Charisma, not so much. Intelligence, maybe a little bit. Constitution, a bit. 13 dex. Yes, I remember that. That's why I don't enjoy 3.5. If you were here for the earlier part, you would know that I don't enjoy 3.5 for that reason.
So you can just cast like 3 rays at 3 different people and get sneak attack on 3 rays.
Exactly. It's like,
Doesn't sound broken. Come on.
no, not at all.
But it's happening simultaneously.
Oh, we're gonna make this guy speak Celeste. This lady or guy, I don't even know. Let's do a name. Let's just generate a name. Donovan. Bailey
Minotaur.
Caskwound. What?
Donovan McNome.
Speaks Minotaur.
Ruprecht. Penny Phoenix Woods. I like it.
Leave my comments.
Description. We're gonna make this person a gladiator. I'm just kidding. I love Outlander.
Does this do anything, or is this just backstory?
It gives skill proficiencies. That's just like the big one. Is it gives skill proficiencies, and then also gives you a feat, like a sort of feat that is RP based. So
What does Folk Hero do? Does it just give them like physical bonuses, or?
Folk Hero gives animal handling and survival, vehicles, proficiency with vehicles, land, meaning horses and carts and things like that.
Goodies, basically.
Actually, this would work really well.
Okay.
We're going to have them be a potter, because why not? equipment. Remember. Druids can't wear metal armor. FYI.
Be pretty bad for a flame. I don't even remember what these guys are called again.
Wildfire druids.
There it is. Thank you.
You're a druid, Penny.
You're a town.
Cheese Sauce God in the chat asking if we want to hear some cheese-based items or attacks. So of
Fuck
course
yeah,
said
I do.
yes. I mean, I already said it, so.
Yeah, you know that's why that's why you're a mod. Cheese bomb. It
It's where you stick a bomb of cheese.
and throw it for more effort, and you're.
So it's like a hot ball of cheese that you're throwing.
I would call it fondue bomb.
Yeah, fondue bomb. Yeah.
Fondant.
Ah, that's cake. Uh,
I think not even having it do the lightning damage, having it do like burn damage on contact.
I would say fire damage for like everything,
Yeah.
or acid.
Because hot
Depending-
cheese on, like,
depending
the
on
roof
what-
of your mouth. Ooh. Not
You throw
good.
cheese at an enemy, and it deepens on your character's power, or will make the cheese throw more strong. Oh, okay. So
Blue cheese, necrotic damage from the fungus.
I could see that. Oh, and then what's that? If you
So
throw
we're-
if you
so
throw
we're-
if you throw Swiss cheese, it's holy damage
So is he making
because
like an
it's
Emmentaler mage?
it's
Is
holy
what's happening
cheese.
right now?
It's holy cheese. You guys missed my pun, or you're choosing not to accept it.
I didn't accept it.
I laughed in my head.
Summon a cheese elemental. What's this? I clicked the link.
Oh,
Oh,
that is a
my
disgusting
god,
looking
I
thing.
love it.
I gotta click on it.
Look at it. It's got little fondue forks in it. Perfect.
We're zooming in, boys.
Constantly in a molten state.
Can you imagine? Do you know how fucking hot it would have to be consistently molten? Cheese takes a lot of heat to melt.
It also retains heat. So
It does retain
together.
heat. I don't think cheese would be weak to cold. I don't think it would ever be weak to cold damage. Cheese gives no fucks about cold.
I'm upset that you can make an entire like chef wizard and have this guy like guard.
Oh no, it'd be a bard. I would absolutely make a chef a bard.
The Emmentaler.
100%, it would be a bard, and it would be all summoning and cheese magic. 100%.
You don't want it
Ugh.
to be a cheese whiz.
Oh, fuck off! Someone ban
just-
Fred. Ban
just
Fred
show
from
myself
chat.
out.
Yeah, yeah. If you could fuck off, that'd be great.
Just kidding. I'm back with more puns.
Cheese
Fuck
powder. 90% chance. No, they would have to make like a Constitution saving throw to not fall asleep.
Oh my gosh! Please make the cheese bard Guy Fieri.
I like the cone of cheese. It's a nice visual.
Welcome to Flavor Town. Cheese dust.
You could have a forge cleric that makes cheese stuff. They have cheese wheel shields. Oh, you know what this is for? This is for the fridge murder.
Oh,
The fridge murder one shot.
yeah. Yeah, we can go on that. Here.
No, for real. I'm with your permission, cheese sauce god. I would like to use these in a one shot that I have planned eventually.
Yep. They said yes.
Fuck yeah. The villain could be a
Perfect.
cheese-based wizard. Call him the Cheese Whiz. He's a can of Cheese Whiz. He just fucking
Mine
Oh, and his minions are the little Baby Bell cheeses.
Oh, like those little like wax.
Yeah, the
sealed,
little wax
like,
sealed
individual-
cheeses. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you got like a stack of the fucking American slices. They're like, you're not cheese, but we're gonna accept you.
American cheese is so bad.
It's not cheese. Like literally, it doesn't say cheese on that package. You missed a lot, Cybernet. I don't know how long you've been gone for, but you missed a lot.
Mostly cheese-based discussions.
Mostly
Yeah.
cheese-based discussions. Yeah,
I would use American cheese as like ninja stars, man. That'll do some damage.
that's true. Oh, cheese sticks are nunchucks, dog.
That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage. Would a wildfire druid have shape water as a cantrip?
Why not?
Oh, no, they
It's
wouldn't.
scalding water.
Men, they don't get message. That sucks. Control flames. Shillelagh is incredible. Thunderclap is great too. No, we're gonna go with resistance.
I've always liked the idea of like a shillelagh quarterstaff wielder. It's just cool. Like that's what I would choose for like my bards or something like that.
What
'Cause,
shillelagh?
Like, yeah, like a bard. Yeah, like a bard carrying around a sword. It's a little weird.
Shillelagh's
Feel
like
it's whatever, but like having like a walking stick.
No,
is
literally,
cool
it just
for a
buffs. It
quarterstaff,
just
like-
buffs the weapon that you have to a D8 damage instead of a D6 damage. And it actually goes. It doesn't actually scale.
Well, I think it's only on quarterstaffs or clubs. Okay.
I was ready to say a Shillelagh's a quarterstaff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the important one. Is you can use their spellcasting abilities to the strength.
That's true.
So if you're like a weak ass bard,
I just imagine it like
Strength.
Monkey King with
yeah,
the fucking
the Jingu mastery. I
Yeah.
think it is.
yeah. How do you pick spells for a wildfire druid? Just fire spells? There are no first level fire spells. What? Unless they already have it. Do they already have it? I think they already have it. Yeah. Scorching Ray, Fireball. Fireball. That fucking druid gets Fireball.
So it's basically a cheese ball. Cheese sauce. That last one that he put in chat. Radius of 50 feet is ridiculous, though. Like that's your.
A radius of 50 feet? You're covering
Yeah,
an
you
entire room in cheese.
Yeah,
I
you
would
put the
lower
whole
I would
room
lower
in
that to
cheese.
20 feet. But
Yeah.
that would be like
It's a lot of cheese.
that's a
like,
fuckload of cheese.
yeah, cheese fireball. I figured that's kind of what you meant to do, especially after you said.
I would call it the
auto-
I would call it the fondue pot.
Yeah, it's like tipping over. It's not even tipping over. It's like.
Or like a
oh,
Velveeta
cheese.
bomb.
Oh.
Because Velveeta cheese gets so fucking hot so fast. Heat
Yeah,
metal.
50
Heat
50
metal.
foot radius.
Obviously heat metal. Why wouldn't you have
Oh yeah.
flaming sphere, flame blade? Look at all this fire shit. I get 9 spells, so I need to pick some second level spells. Spike growth is incredible. Moonbeam. Gotta counter those shapeshifters, you know. Oh, Call Lightning is so good too. Dispel Magic. Why would you not ever have Dispel Magic?
Hello.
Who's this? Oh, Sarich!
That's-
What a...
We're just hanging out. Dealing with the dogs.
No? Unless there's more
Dogs and cat
questions.
stream. Let's
Wait,
go.
I can't hear dogs. I won't... Yeah. Is it
I feel like
fire?
the wildfire druid also
can.
can get some growth or life
I'm muted
related
anyways.
stuff.
True.
Just that cycle of like life and destruction.
Well, plant growth
seems
is
like the,
already in there too.
okay.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice flavor because fire is very important for the cycle of nature.
Where is it? There's spike growth. Spike growth is... I already prepared spike growth. Never mind. Don't listen to me! Earthbind. Earthbind is incredible. For future reference. Oh, healing word. Cure wounds. Yeah, dispel magic. Fireball and plant growth. So stupid.
I see why this is still a testing build.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
broken.
these are a lot.
This
of good
is
spells.
broken
You got-
AF. Is what it
It's-
is.
You got healing. You got damage. You got.
You have
fire,
all the things.
gas.
Literally all the things. I mean, like even with the stats the way they are now, +6 to a firebolt, 2d10.
Ugh. That's a cantrip, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ugh. That's so good.
Spike growth has a range of 150 feet. Excuse me? It's a 20-foot radius.
Spike growth.
Spike growth is incredibly good. Basically, you
Wait a
make a
minute.
huge area into spikes on the ground into basically caltrops. Anyone walking through it takes 2d4 damage.
So if I was reading
Nice.
that right,
For every 5 feet that it moves.
Oh my god, that's ridiculous.
so if I was reading that right, you get a firebolt for a 2d10.
Yeah.
Then
Cantrip.
you use
Cantrip,
your
by the way.
summon because you cast a fire spell to summon your spirit
2d10.
on
Oh
everything.
my
and I think
God,
that's
so
at
wait,
second
could-
level, right?
Can you add that
That's-
roll to that? Yeah, you can because it's fire damage, right?
And it's AoE, right? So isn't that 4d10 plus 2d10 at second level in a 20-foot AoE?
Yeah. Or if you're
Wait,
hard,
Firebolt doesn't have an AoE, does it?
no, firebolt is just a cantrip. But if you were to go hard in the sauce, you could do fireball plus wildfire. So you're doing
Well,
8.
but the AoE when your spirit summons.
I know,
Yeah.
but you're doing 8d6 in the bigger AoE, and then you're doing another 2d10 on top of whoever's still there.
Oh yeah, no, I got that. I was just saying, I thought 4d10 was fairly impressive. For a
Oh, fair.
cantrip level.
Yeah, no joke.
I mean, 2d10 is impressive for a cantrip. Damn.
Fire Spirit's gonna get there and be like, "Oh, everything's dead."
What the fuck?
He's already on fire.
Why is
Come
every?
back to my house.
Let's roll my potion dice. It's a 6, guys. It wasn't very good. There are better dice, but they're like $15. Wow, I'm rolling poorly.
Have you seen the like? I don't even know what to call them. It looks like a shot glass, but it's not. It's you spin it like a top, and it could be a D20, a D10.
I have
Oh, nice.
those dice somewhere.
Hmm. That was a cool
Modular
concept.
dice like thing.
Yeah, it's like a
Modular-
dice
not
tower.
even a dice, like a roller. Oh, okay. okay.
Yeah. Like you just click the bottom on which thing you want to spin. If it's a D20, a D10, D8, D6, whatever.
Sounds interesting.
If I find a video of it, I'll post it in Discord. All it is a ball bearing on top of like 2 stones.
Right.
I have seen that. I know what you're talking about. I want one of those.
My friend a long time ago had a D100. It was like, I don't exactly remember. There was like a little ball bearing inside the middle. Then I forgot exactly how it rolls, but it's like you take. It was kind of like a percentile die. Like I think it was 1 to 10. I don't remember, but I do remember like a ball bearing being inside, and it was a D100 that you actually roll. Picture.
There's a cat at the door. Again.
Roll initiative. Get it.
Oh, this Penny Phoenix Woods. What a name for a wildfire druid. Sort of fun how that works out.
He's loud. Pretty good. Where a cloud of cheese is cast, the enemies or players close to you, and it blinds anyone who can't make a Constitution save. I assume that meant. And if you don't like cheese or you're lactose intolerant, you take poison damage. So it's an AoE blind around you. Good anti-melee.
What? Cat? I'm right here. Just for future reference, I'm literally right next to you. Come here. Come here. Ah. Come. Nope. No, you have to stay with me and love me because you're a cat. Oh, you calm down now. That's weird.
It's a trap.
Huh?
It's a trap.
It's a trap.
To give up looking for this D&D top thing.
Yeah. So I wanted to do let me turn the background off real quick. I wanted to do I want to show you guys my map. Let me get into the map. I'm going to explain a little bit of Steel Horizons to you guys. I'm going to get a little bit of insight as to my process of Steel Horizons. That was a Braver coming in hot. Wait. Okay. Okay. Is this gonna work? Is that a browser? No, it is the full window. Okay. So here's the Acrid Strand. Okay, this is what we're gonna look at this for
Beautiful,
just a
beautiful
minute.
Map.
Okay. So when we're talking about factions and things like that, I'm not letting you out again. I'm over it. Okay. So wait, how do I zoom in? Well, we're looking specifically at this area up here, right? So you have a really fun idea is Union. Okay, so we're going to start at Union. Union is the whole basis of how this entire thing works, right? So Union is where everyone goes to make sure that everything in the world or on this continent works. Okay, for example, Union is sort of like the United Nations, where if you want to do something with your place, you have to go through Union to generally get it approved, unless it's like something small and doesn't have to do with automation. I mean, autonomy is the word I'm looking for. So Union states that any town that is below 1,000 citizens doesn't get recognized on the map. So there's literally tons of villages and towns everywhere, but unless you have 1,000 people in it, you don't get recognized on the map. So when we're looking specifically at Insight, and you have Pearl Sentinel, Grass Range, Fieldbrook, Olive Shoals, and Hearth Pass, and Northern Outlook, those are all 1,000 people, right? And in order for your nation to specifically have a section on the map that is considered theirs, you have to have a large amount of population. I believe I wrote down, I think it's between 15 and 20,000 to be on the map as a nation state of Union. The current nation states of Union go under the name of Insight, Myriad, Plenty, Breach, Strive, and Endeavor. Those are all the nation states of Union right now, and the people of Strive don't actually go by that. They call themselves the Scarlet Sands. And those people have their own sub-factions and everything within that nation. But those are just now getting explored, where Akshun is actually from Endeavor. That's where his character from. And Davron is from the Breach. Sorshana is actually from the Drowning Creep. She actually lived in there, so she is actually part of the Plenty Nation state, which owns some of the Drowning Creep. Nobody owns the Drowning Creep because that's a terrible place to live. People don't live there very well. And when I'm talking about this northwestern section up here, Frigid Eddy, Glacier Cleave, and the Diamond Citadel, those are all specifically a set of people that want to become a nation state, but have been brought in under the wing of Insight to be a part of their nation state, but also get what I call a seat at the table, because they have a giant round table where one representative from each nation gets to sit along with 2 advisors. So each nation state gets to sit at this huge round table. They have one advisor, they have one person, they have 2 advisors that go with him. And generally speaking, the 2 advisors that sit at the round table are generally other faction leaders. For example, within where do I have my table? I have a table that explains the factions, but I don't want to show you because it sort of ruins some stuff. But one of the leadership of Glacier Cleave, Diamond Citadel, and Frigid Eddy is on one of the advisors to the leadership of Insight. So they have a seat at the table, but they're not big enough to be their own nation state yet. And that's one of their things that they strive for, is that they can become, they can sit at that table. So that's a big one, is they want to become a nation state of union, but they don't have enough people yet. And generally speaking, the people that live up there are giants, Goliaths. They have a very large Aasimar not Aasimar. What are the elementals called?
Primordials?
No. They the half elementals are called. Damn it, Ganassi. That's it. They have a massive Ganassi population because it's easier to live in a place where the weather is it's not hospitable. You don't live there willingly. And they're just trying to get their population recognized, and the fact that they are almost big enough. Each of those towns has 1,000 people at least. Glacier Cleave is actually fucking huge because the majority of the population are giants, so they have to make big buildings and things like that. And also, a lot of the other nation states don't agree with the way that they run, meaning they can't grow crops in a frozen area. So they are basically 100% livestock, all meat, all day. They do have some other stuff that they can summon and magic users that can do stuff like that. But within the political climate of each of these areas, you have to think about a lot of things. And that's when I say factions. Factions are very specifically relative to what you're doing. Oh, this is not the final version of this that's on the internet. This text is wrong. The font is wrong, but that's fine. So yeah, when you look at each of these things, generally speaking, and then each of these are usually a democratic process, short of the Scarlet Sands and the Breach are not democratic, but they each send their representatives, and then every 5 years, which is in the storyline, it's coming up for it's coming up on, I think, 33 days or around that, they're coming up on the 5-year meetings, which says as soon as they get there, they sit down at the round table and they go, okay, so who's in charge of your section this for the next 5 years? And that would be like specifically for the Scarlet Sands, it would be like Nezfarak Ka recognizes this in. Like, they're basically, each of the Nezes puts in their vote for who's in charge within their specific sub-factions. And generally speaking, the Breach doesn't follow the rules for that. So they just say, we're still in charge of our own stuff. Where Myriad is the southern people they sound like this, because that's just the way it works. And then Endeavor has their own systems and things like that. So, just the main factions. I think there's at least 4 or 5 main factions within each of the nation states, and then each of them have their own sub factions that go along with that as well. Yeah. So that gives you a little bit of insight into, and also depending on the corporations and stuff like that, they can have representatives available, but they don't get a seat at the table. Corporations in this world never, unless, and the thing is that nobody likes going to war, especially after the Great War, because everyone, it's a symbiotic relationship between Union and everyone else. For example, Myriad produces a vast majority of the food. Yes, every section can and does produce food for themselves, but a lot of that is exported purely because if Myriad was to go at war with everyone else would starve. If Endeavor decides to not give anyone any stone or any building materials, that means everyone else is starved, and that's a thing for war. So one faction going to war with any other faction starves the rest of the world from some resource that is required of them. So that's why nobody likes going to war anymore, is because they've proven with the Great War, the Arcanist travesty that happened and everything. It proved that if we don't make this a symbiotic relationship, then stuff will essentially go downhill, and that's why the Sage Brink is what it is, and that's why the Abyss Gate exists. Is the Abyss Gate town is literally watching over the Sage Brink, and Sage Brink was the first place they tested a salt bomb on. And the salt bomb is the Arcanist core put into a weapon, it explodes and makes all life short of plant life. If you go into it, you die. That's just what happens. It just makes it unlivable for living creatures outside of plants. So imagine go like a Chernobyl, except the second that you went into any part of the radiation, you immediately died. So that's what salt bombs do, and that's why them carrying around that Arcanist core is so important, is because they're literally carrying around something that can devastate a massive section of the world to make it unlivable. So yeah. That's why it took me forever to write the idea behind the idea behind the 2 different campaigns. Is that you have Steel Horizons is a political intrigue slash is heavily inspired by some of the Mission Impossible stuff, because I sort of like the storyline for some of it, but it's also technologically at the same level as the Industrial Revolution in some cases, a little bit farther than that. But that's the inspiration behind it, is all of this was written, all 300 plus hours of it that I've written is, or the 300 plus hours that I've taken to write it have been basically the idea of what would happen if normal people got a hold of something that could destroy the world. That's the idea behind it. And then Seeds of Destruction is let's look at the world, and they've had peace for a really long time. So there could potentially be outside things trying to end the world. And that's pretty much it, is them reacting to try and stop the end of the world, which I think everyone would enjoy. So that's pretty much it. And unless anyone wants to come join us in Discord and come hang out and talk, I think I'm just going to end it here, because it's a good place to end it. Unless anyone else has questions about stuff.
I think I'm pretty tapped out for questions and stuff, so.
Yeah, unless anyone else has questions or anything they want to add. I hope everyone has a great day. And yeah, I believe I'm going to be starting my Patreon 1st of September. And the plan for that is going to be probably a $2 a month tier that says I'm going to put your name at the end of every stream. And then a $5 tier is going to be Character of the Month. So do I get paid to be the GM? Yes and no. Yes, I do get paid by my stream, by people who support my stream, the very generous people that do subscribe and things like that. I do get that money, and I don't consider it proper income. Why should I not use dwarf as a sorcerer? Because I don't get charisma bonus. That's my only thing. Is I would probably switch to like Dragonborn or the dragon. I don't know what they're called. The dragon people get bonuses to charisma. That's what I would do. And yeah, I can get paid. And some days, some months are better than others. But I put that money back into the stream. So any money that I do get from subscribing or whatever goes to Patreon to get maps and character art and other things that make the stream better. That would be huge. And that's why I'm doing Patreon, is so that people can support the stream directly. $5 a month is going to be NPC of the month. Everyone will be able to vote, and at the end of the month, I will be releasing a fully statted out up to whatever level they end up being, and background for every NPC that you guys vote on. So if you are on the $5 tier, basically you'll be able to vote. Do we want to see Ricky's stat line this week? Do we want to see Best Girl? Do we want to see Egg? Yeah, Egg. Everyone has requested Egg so far. It's basically I'll be doing that once a month, and then I believe Safari Fred and I are going to talk about it. But there's going to be a special monthly event happening soon, once we get it down. That will
Soon.tm.
Soon.tm, yeah. That will be, you guys get to play with me, but it will be, don't eat that chocolate muffin, cat. The chocolate muffin isn't for kittens. It will be basically, if you're part of probably an $8 or $10 tier a month, it will be very, very incredible. It's going to be a lot of fun. Once we get everything.
It's shaping up to be something cool. I don't know how many details we can really share right now.
Nah, I don't want to share any yet.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
But yeah, it'll be cool. And I might have more than that, but people are like, oh, you should have one where you can play with people for a really high value thing. It's like, well, that's hard for me to say. Purely because it's really difficult for me to find time when I'm not writing and stuff to actually play. So, yeah, but we'll figure it out. Or if you guys have requests for Patreon, post it in the community channel or whatever. I'm willing to take suggestions. So, yeah, but I'm going to call it there because I have stuff I have to do today. And I will talk to you guys later. Thanks for showing up.
Thanks for letting me on and hanging out with you.
Absolutely.
Good time. Have a good day, chat.
Bye.
Everybody.